Kardashian has always been the black sheep of the family due to his issues with drug addiction, but little did we know that Kris Jenner was behind it all. Rob Kardashian, the youngest member of the famous Kardashian family, has struggled with drug addiction for years. While the details of his addiction have been kept largely private, reports suggest that he has battled with a number of substances, including prescription drugs and recreational drugs like marijuana. Now, it has been shockingly exposed that Kris Jenner was pulling all the strings and was directly responsible for drugging Rob in order to maintain her authority and control over him. So sit back and grab your popcorn, because this is one juicy topic you can't miss. Ever since reports started to surface that Kris Jenner was behind Rob's struggles with drug addiction, she decided to respond. Kris recently slammed reports that her son Rob Kardashian had checked into rehab. The 67-year-old told Entertainment Tonight that the claims were completely fabricated. Previously, the Florida-based website Gossip Extra had claimed that Rob, 35, checked into a 60-day Palm Beach rehab center that dealt with drug and alcohol addiction. A source claimed to Gossip Extra, Rob is in good spirits and has a positive mindset. Celebrity bodyguard and local resident Mark Behar, who befriended Rob and sister Kim years ago, also spoke about Rob's current state of mind. "He told me, 'This is it. I just need to stick with it and do this,'" Behar alleged to the site. His regimen includes weight loss and physical training. Rob will probably lose 10 to 20 pounds within the first few weeks by just being in rehab and daily programs related to his detox, he added. Now, these two conflicting reports point towards something shady going on behind the scenes. Kris would never resort to such an aggressive stance if she had nothing to do with Rob's drug problems. The fact that she tried to justify and defend herself only makes her seem like more of a culprit. There is speculation that Kris has always encouraged Rob's drug use so that she can keep him under her control and use it against him whenever she needs to. Though she will never admit to this, there is strong evidence to suggest that she may have had a hand in Rob being drugged. We need to dive deeper into Rob's life and struggles to find clues about Kris's involvement in all of this. Often left behind by his famously happy family, Rob's problems initially began years ago. Kardashian's struggles with addiction first came to light in 2014 when he was rushed to the hospital for an undisclosed medical emergency. At the time, it was said that his drug use had gotten out of hand and that he needed to see a doctor right away. Unfortunately, Kardashian's road to recovery has not been easy. In 2015, he was once again hospitalized for an undisclosed medical issue, which was later revealed to be related to his drug addiction. He has also been in trouble with the law more than once, including a time when he allegedly threatened to kill someone while high on drugs. Despite these setbacks, Kardashian has continued to work on his sobriety. He has spoken publicly about his struggles with addiction and expressed his commitment to getting and staying sober. After an extremely public breakup with longtime girlfriend and pop star Rita Ora, he turned to food and alcohol as a way to cope. Rob was overeating on a daily basis and binging on alcohol. Frightened by these behaviors, a few friends and family members reached out to Rob. Their concern only grew once Rob began partying with an admitted heroin addict and his ex-brother-in-law Lamar Odom. The two were seen stumbling out of the popular Greystone Manor in Hollywood, clearly drunk and on their way to the next party. It is odd that Kris wasn't among those who were concerned, nor did she reach out to him at this point and let him dig himself a deeper hole. As a mother, all of this news should have been extremely concerning to Kris, who should have intervened right away and tried to help her son out. But she not only ignored this, but continued to let him carry on with his lifestyle. Why she chose to let Rob drug himself like this, nobody knows. But history suggests that the family always wanted him out of the spotlight so they could keep all the focus on themselves. For the past decade, while a majority of the Kardashian clan has kept their names and faces in the tabloids, one of them fell out of the limelight, and that's Rob Kardashian. His family has been very candid on their television show about the struggles that Rob has been going through, and while no one has assumed he's struggling with substance abuse, it was clear that he was severely depressed. The show has always focused on the Kardashian sisters more than their only brother Rob, but they would eventually bring up the fact that he felt like he was always walking in his sisters' shadows. However, tabloids have recently reported that Rob may finally be seeking help for whatever ails him, and hopefully they will support him rather than criticize him. It takes a lot of courage for someone who has refused help from others for so long to finally seek treatment, and it's a huge first step. A rumor says that Rob will go to a treatment center on the beach in Delray Beach, Florida on his own. Maybe he has finally decided to pull himself out of his mother's control and get the help he desperately needs. The reason for choosing treatment in Florida is that it'll be easier for him to avoid the hectic world surrounding his family and separate himself from his life in California. He obviously wants to stay away from his evil mother so she won't pull him back into his drug problems. We have to keep in mind that addiction is an extremely difficult thing to overcome. The last thing an adult expects to be is a recovering addict, especially when their friends are going out, drinking, and partying. The difference with someone who struggles with addiction is that they can't control that urge. Sure, they may be able to say no to that first drink, and that's great for that night. But if they say yes and take that first drink, there's no stopping them. This is where Kris has played her role. She has always been the one to make him say yes to that first drink. Kardashian's struggles with addiction serve as a reminder of the devastating impact that drugs can have on people's lives, regardless of their wealth or fame. Addiction is a complex disease that affects millions of people around the world, and it can be incredibly difficult to overcome. However, with the right treatment and support, it is possible to achieve and maintain sobriety, as Kardashian is working to do. Hopefully, he keeps his distance from Kris so he can truly be back on the road to recovery rather than falling back to his old ways. Click on one of the two videos on screen right now.